Hi guys, Tori here. I am going to be showing you how to make seed bombs today in honor of Earth Day, which is today, April 22nd. Super easy, just a few things that you'll need for it. Supplies are going to be construction paper, 3 pieces. These are halved because I'm not going to make such a large batch, but you can use 3 full papers, and the color is up to you. I'm doing purple, pink, and green today, but you can do any color that you have on hand. You'll also need, for however many colors you have, you'll need that many containers to put them in. So 1 container for each color. So containers with water, a sheet pan with parchment so we can have something for them to dry on, scissors, and then packets of seeds that you want to use for your seed bombs, and then a blender. And then I'll show you how you can, if you don't have a blender at home, how you can still make these and get around that. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So what you're gonna want to do is take your construction paper and have maybe a few paper towels on hand too, just in case, because you're working with water, it gets a little bit messy. But we're gonna cut these into strips and then into 1-inch squares. So I'm just gonna cut these here. And show you what I'm talking about. So I've cut them into strips, and then I'm going to cut them down into squares. So about that size, and then just 1-inch squares. It doesn't have to be exact. This is basically just to make them smaller so it's easier for them to soak up the water. So then you're going to, after you cut them, just kind of sprinkle them into the container of water. And then you're just gonna kind of mix them in and around. We wanna make sure that they're completely submerged. And once you get all of them in the water, we're gonna let them sit for about 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes. And that just gives them time to soak up all that extra water. And we wanna make sure that they're good and filled with water so it compacts easier in our hands when we go to form our seed bombs later. So I'm just going to continue to cut these here. And then if you don't know, Earth Day was actually founded on April 22nd in 1970 by Gaylord Nelson. He actually witnessed a massive oil spill in California, and it prompted him to found the day that kind of focuses on the environment and how important it is to take care of that. So that's kind of where Earth Day started. And then every year we just, continue to spread awareness and keep enhancing that. So it's really important to make sure that, we are being proactive and taking care of Mother Earth. All right, on our last color here, so I had mentioned earlier, if you didn't have a blender at home, a way around this, because what we're going to do is after these soak for 20 minutes, we're going to pulse them till they become like a pulp consistency. And if you don't have a blender, what you could do is cut them into much finer pieces at this stage and then let them soak. That way you don't have to worry about kind of trying to turn them into that pulp consistency. Basically, like if you didn't have a blender, you'd want them a confetti size. So I'm gonna set these to the side, and because there's TV magic, I have some already done, which is these right here. And I'm gonna show you how to do the green one here, but that's kind of the consistency that you're looking for. It's pretty fluffy, just because we blended it, but I'll do that. So before we've actually blended it, I'm going to take the green squares that I've already soaked for 20 minutes, and I'm just wringing out the excess water, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and blend it here. And it's going to get a little loud, so bear with me here. But we're just going to set it in here like this. And just pulse it until it becomes that pulp consistency. So hold on just a second. We want to make sure that it's all ground down. And then we can dump it right back in to our container. And there's a few pieces that may stick to the side. We just want to make sure we get all of that in. There we go. And then that's what you're looking for, that pulp consistency. It's very fine, very just fluffy matter, basically. So then what we're gonna do is pick what seeds we wanna use. I suggest 2 to 3 packets of seeds, and it's up to you if you wanna mix them. You don't have to. I prefer not to, just so I know what is what. And make sure when you're planting you do native plants, or go to your local seed store and you can get packets there. Anything there should be fine to plant. And we're going to divide this evenly between the 3 colors. So we're just pouring a little bit in to each to kind of make it even. And these are violas today is what I'm mixing up. I love violas. Like I said, just kind of evenly around. Perfect. Oops. And then I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just going to stir that around gently, just so the seeds are completely mixed in there with all that construction paper. I want to make sure that they're not just sitting right on top. And if you see some at the bottom, you can always, you know, once you form your balls, you can kind of smoosh them into that and make it so it picks them all up. Okay, so now that we've got our seeds mixed into our construction paper, we can go ahead and start forming our balls. So you can take just a little bit of each color. Oops. And if you want to blend them all together, you can, or if you want to kind of make sure that they keep their own color in their own way, that's totally fine. It's up to you. But we're kind of just squishing them all together. And they kind of do their own little thing and blend and make their own color schemes and that sort of thing. Now they're not gonna completely stick together, so you'll have to kind of work with it a little bit. And what I mean by that is sometimes there's little stragglers that kind of don't stick, which is totally fine. But that's kind of what you're looking for. There we go. And then you can set them on a piece of parchment and baking sheet to dry. So you'll want to let them dry completely overnight before you plant them. And if you want to, you can always, I think these are great little gifts to give to family and friends. You can always do like color themed for maybe like a holiday or a birthday. And it's just a great way to spread some happiness. So I'm going to go ahead and form the rest of these. And you can make all one color if you want. I have some that are completely dried that I'm going to show you here in just a bit that are green and blue. And I tried to make them like little earths just to, as a little nod to Earth Day. There we go. And like I said earlier, basically this day, Earth Day, is about promoting clean air, clean water, you know, conserving our water, reducing, reusing, and recycling the best that we can. A great way to be involved with Earth Day is you can always plant a tree or volunteer. If you plant a tree, you know, those provide food and oxygen for the environment, for us. They save energy, they clean the air. It's just a great way to be proactive and spread the word. All right, I'm getting there. And you can make these as big or small as you'd like, depending on, I think, the seed size. Like if you had sunflower seeds that you did, you probably would want them a little bit bigger. Okay, now I'm just gonna mix them all together. And fill out this last little bit. So what I was saying earlier was, once these dry, you can always give them as gifts, so you don't have to use them right away, which I think is really cool. Or let's say it's the end of the year and you're gathering your seeds from this year's harvest, you can save them and use them in these and then still plant them next year, which is kind of cool. So there's that. So I used, like I said, half construction paper, 3 different colors, and that gave me 6 little seed bombs. And then I wanted to show you the ones that were dry. Kind of bring them up close to you, and they look like little worlds, like that. So yeah, pretty cool, and that's really what you're looking for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave it in the comments. And like always, we love to see what you guys create, so be sure to share or tag us on Facebook, because we always love to see what you guys come up with. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in, and then I will see you next week. Thanks, guys.